everyone, it's Tim Holtz, and I have some crazy news to share with you. Now, if you are a fan of this Bird Crazy stamp set, these are so much fun. Well, your creativity is about to get even crazier because I've teamed up with Sizzix to bring you a set of thin dies designed to cut out the Bird Crazy stamp set. There are 18 thin dies in here, and I cannot wait to show you how cool they are. So this is the Bird Crazy thin die set, and like I said, I'm so excited that I've collaborated with Sizzix to do this die set because this Bird Crazy stamp set, so much fun, and to be able to cut them out with ease, so cool. So here's what you get. You get 18 thin dies total, and there's a lot of pieces in here, but when you see how we've designed these, they are going to make perfect sense for you. So here's what we need to do to start with. You need to get the Bird Crazy stamp set. Now these are through Stampers Anonymous, and choose a bird. So here I'm just going to take one of these birds, and I'm going to stamp it. So I'll just put it on cling block. Just take some cardstock. Now this just happens to be watercolor cardstock, but you could use whatever cardstock you want. And I'm just gonna ink that up and I'm going to stamp it. Now, if you're going to cut these out, depending on how you're going to layer them, because these dies are designed not only to cut out the bird itself, but also the ability to layer. So if you're gonna layer them, you do need to stamp the image twice. So there we go. That's stamped. Just like that. Then I'm just going to take my scissor and just cut that in half. So I have those separate because if I cut those out, I want those to be independent so they don't bruise. So you can really, however you decide to organize your dies, you can. You could do little bags or magnetic or just kind of sort through them when you're playing. So you can easily spot the bird die that you've stamped. So this is going to be the die for this, and you can see it goes right around it. Now each die has the die that cuts the actual bird, and then two of the accessory dies. One is going to be the small wing, so I know that's the wing for this guy, and the other is going to be the eyes and the beak. So let me find it for this one. Here it is. And you can see that we put all of that on the same die, so you don't have all these little pieces you have to worry about. Everything as far as positioning is all ready to go. So those are the three dies I'm going to need for this one. Now, I've gone ahead and I've already stamped this other one because, listen, out of all the crazies, he is my favorite. He's crazy. So I've stamped him twice as well. So let me find his pieces while we're in there. So there's his outline shape. His wings. Now he's got two side wings. So there again, made it easy and put those both on the same die. So they will be evenly spaced. You'll have that. And there are his eyes and beak. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, it's going to get crazy. So I'll put these back in the storage envelope. Really simple. And we'll talk about cutting these out. So let me move this aside. What we're going to need to cut this out, I'm going to work with the Vagabond. So I want to start with the magnetic platform. This is just the platform I prefer when I'm cutting out thin dies. Then I'm going to use the precision base plate. Now, this is a nice steel plate. This is new from Sizzix. This goes label down right onto that magnetic. It holds it in there, but this is steel. And this really helps when you're cutting out detailed pieces. And then I'm just going to take a cutting pad. This is one of their new colored cutting pads. This is Java. Finally, I love this color. Didn't want pink, didn't want purple, turquoise, but listen, brown, I've got it. All right, so that's what I'm gonna need. This will be the bottom part of the sandwich and this will be the top. And I'm just going to take my Vagabond. So let me bring that into the shot, kind of lay that there, get that all ready. We'll open it up. And then I'm going to place this down right onto the machine. There's my cutting pad. And so here's what we're going to do to cut out our first bird. We're just gonna lay that down. We have all of our little pieces. And the nice thing is because I can work on this whole surface, I can do both of them at the same time. So I'm just gonna lay both of these down. Now you can see from the die that it's very easy to position. If you feel that you wanna go in and tape it, by all means, you can go in and tape it. But I'm just looking for pretty much some reference points that I wanna see. So I'm looking for like that little curled feather or the lines. And this way I can see if there's no black in there, I know I'm not cutting on the stamped line. So I want to make sure that when I position this, it's going to be lined up. And again, if you want to be absolutely perfect and you want to go in and tape it, maybe use some washi tape or painter's tape or any kind of thin tape, you can go ahead and do that. So I've got that one. Then I'm going to take, on my second one, I'm going to position, oh my gosh, they kill me. They do. So some of these will allow you to do exactly what I'm doing, which is position them at the same time. But you'll see on the second one, it's not so. So what I want to do, again, is just position that exactly how I want it on both of those. and that is right onto the metal side, right onto the cardstock, and then I'm just going to take my cutting pad. I'm going to place that down over the top, put that into the machine, and we'll run this through. Okay, take this out. Let's just move this out of the way for now, just so we can see what we've got. And here we have our pieces cut out. Oh my gosh, it's pretty unbelievable, the detail that you get when you're cutting these out. So I've got the beak, the eyes, and even though that was one die, it does cut those out separately. You can see on the wing here, but wait till you see the detail. It even does that little space. I mean, look how skinny the legs are. And again, if you don't want kind of that little bit of white showing, I could have moved that over, did a better alignment, and I wouldn't have any white there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the second bird just to show you. So here I've got my base piece, I've got the eyes and the beak, and I've got that little extra wing for this guy. But let's do the next one. Oh my gosh, he's so fun. So I'll bring that back in, throw that down, put it right on my cutting pad. Let me get that. Okay, so for our next guy, that crazy guy, I'll lay this down. So there again, just going to position this, kind of look for the markings that I want to look for. And then we'll talk about these pieces. So for this one, let me kind of bring that into camera shot so we can see it there. Now, remember when I was talking about running two dies? If I have two dies that are too close, you see how these are too close together actually touching? I don't like to run them through simultaneously, because if for whatever reason they overlap going through the machine, it will damage the die. So don't be too much of a rush that you don't want to run this through an additional time. So I'm going to set that one aside, because I'll do two passes on that, because I don't want to risk damaging my die. And I always want to tell people that when you're working with multiple ones, if you feel that the dies are too close and they might touch going through the machine, don't risk it. So I've got those laid down. There again, top cutting pad. I push everything into the rollers and then I just turn that on. Run that through the vagabond. Take those out. All right, I'll just push this back, it's easier. So I've got this guy. He comes right out of there. Oh my gosh, look at that. He's hysterical. Okay, now this one, I have those two wings, right? So those are two wings, and I'm gonna run it through one more time to get the eyes and the beak. And this, of course, is just optional. This is if you wanna have all those pieces. If you only want just the outline and you don't plan on 3D layering it, you only have to do one time, that's fine. But this is all about layering. So same thing, put that in, run this through, and we'll take this out as well. Okay, now I'm definitely finished with this for now. Take that out of the way. We have our dies and our pieces. Okay, so this one, you could see, cut them out, and I love that. There's our other crazy guy. There's his eyes and beak. This one, we'll pop this out. There's an eyeball, another eyeball, beak. They're just, oh my gosh, they're crazy. They're funny. So here are the dies and our die cut shape. So what we can do now is go in and do our coloring. We can color and layer it. So I already have some samples that my great friend Shell Fowler colored for me. Look at these. Oh my gosh. It's amazing when you see them. Just, they are so fun, so detailed. And you can see that each one of these is not only die cut, stamped, colored, but layered. So you can see with a little bit of foam tape how you can raise up the wings, the eyes, the beak on all of these. And really, you could just see the detail. I mean, look at that. Look at that little piece right there, how the die is cut. And even that tiny little beak, the little eyes. So each one of these crazy birds will have 3 dies to cut out the overall shape, if you're just going to do that, as well as the wings, the eyes, and the beak, if you want to layer all of these for even more craziness. Now, if you follow the blog and you saw the new sneak peek of the crazy things, which are the great accessories for these birds, which are things for Halloween and Christmas and balloons and party hats and all of that, I have some really exciting news that actually just came in today. I just found out today. Sizzix has agreed to do a second die set to cut out the new crazy things, and that die set is going to be shipping in October. But the great news, this new die set for Bird Crazy is shipping now. That's right. When you're seeing this video, on Friday, that means this die set is available and shipping now. So I am so excited to start really seeing these crazy birds even come to life in a whole new way. Thanks.